I want to catch a big fish today. I wonder which lure I'm gonna use. Of course, the big one. I want a big fish. If you've been fishing, you probably already heard about these expressions that are used by old anglers. Like this one, for example. A bad day at fishing is better than a good day at work. Or another one, big bait, big fish. Welcome to Charles-Hugo Ruins Everything. And today I'm gonna debunk the myth about the need to use a bigger bait to catch a bigger fish. Now let's talk about the historical origin behind this myth. It all starts with people thinking that a big fish will be more hungry, so will need more food and bigger bait to fuel his system. But there's also another theory that people thought. It was that a big fish had a bigger mouth, so he can fit a bigger bait inside his mouth. And by using a bigger bait, they won't be able to catch little fish because their mouth will be too small to eat the bait. But the real reason why a bigger bait means bigger fish, it is that back in the days, they need some big hook and strong hook to withstand the powerful force of sea fish that live in the ocean that has a lot of strength. And the way that they did was to make a thick and big hook so that it will not break while fighting some big fish. But with a thick and big hook, you need a big bait to cover the hook and make it less visible and more attractive to the fish. Because a little bait on a big hook will look a little bit goofy and the fish won't eat it. Now, we'll talk about some facts about fishing that prove that size don't matter in fishing. For example, if we look at the food chain in the ocean, with the tuna, for example, tuna is a pretty big fish that can excess well over 500 pounds, and the tuna only eat on small fishes, for example, on mackerel and on sardines. So by using a big bait, you won't catch a big tuna. Another good example is with the type of fish you're targeting. For example, if you're targeting catfish can be some big fish that can go well over like 30 pounds, some big catfish. The technique for big catfish is to use kiddie food. So kiddie food is pretty small, or some people use rodent food and they cut it in little pieces so it's easier for the catfish to eat it. So for big catfish and small catfish, a big bait won't work. It's not just the size that matters with the lure. There's a lot of other factors. For example, the depth of the place you're fishing, the action of the lure, the color of the lure, the temperature of the water, the speed that you're going to recover your lure. These are all factors that can impact your fishing. Also, a study by Will Nurusser, a fishing guide in Minnesota, a study was about pikes and muskies. The result of his study shows that pike and muskie only eat a big meal, so a big fish, 1 or twice a week, and during the rest of the week they will only eat some small fish. So his advice to fishermen was to use a smaller bait to have more chance in catching a big muskie or a pike. So finally, when you hear a story about fishing, be skeptical, because fishermen usually tend to exaggerate the story to make it more incredible and to tell people that they catch bigger fish than what they really catch. Also, we'll see you next week on Charles-Hugo Ruins Everything for another episode where I talk about banana on boat.